Today, we're going to look at using the SAP Netweaver query component for Matillion ETL. So let's get started.
The SAP Netweaver query component is available within an orchestration job in Matillion, in the Load Unload Components folder, and then within the ERP folder. Simply select the component and drag it onto the screen where required. The first thing we must do is connect it up to the Start component, and within here now we can start to configure the properties of this component. So first of all, let's give the IP address of the SAP Netweaver application server. This is our host. We can now give a SAP Netweaver user who's got access to the data we require. And also that user's password. We'll input my client here. And then in the data source dropdown, here Matillion will show a subset of the data sources available within SAP Netweaver. Because Netweaver is shipped with over 100,000 tables by default, it is not possible to list them all here within Matillion. So we do have an article on our support center which will show you how to configure Matillion to list the data source that you require if it is not available in this default list. Today I'm going to pull the data from the search functions table. I'm now prompted to bring through which columns from that table I require, and these will create new columns in our table in our database. I can add a filter on here so I only bring back a subset of the data. Let's give an S3 bucket to stage my data via. And then let's give the name of the new table that Matillion will create for us. Now the component has turned green, which means it's valid. I can simply right-click and run this component, and I can monitor the progress of it down in the tasks pane here. So we can see Matillion took 6 seconds to stage that data up to S3 and then copy that down into our database. Before we view this data in a transformation job, I'll just say that if you see an error here about the SAP JCO library not found, that is because you will need to copy a couple of files that are available from the SAP Marketplace onto your Matillion instance. Further details on this are available on the SAP Netweaver query component page on our support center. So now I can view this data in a transformation job. I can bring that data in using a table input component. I can search for that search functions table that I've just created. And let's grab all of those 3 columns that I've just added into the table. And now I can get a sample through of the row count and also a sample of this data here. I can now use the power of Matillion to transform that data as I require.